Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The world is riveted by breaking news. Chinese Coast Guard vessels have attacked a Philippine supply ship with water cannons. Manila immediately activates its defense hotline with Washington. Philippine Air Force jets scramble over a disputed shoal. It's August 3, 2025. Tensions in the South China Sea have exploded into crisis. The risk of miscalculation is sky high. A single mistake could spark a regional war. For years the story seemed simple. China, the regional giant, flexed its military might while the Philippines looked outmatched. Analysts predicted any confrontation would be swift. China's overwhelming force would prevail. But today's headlines tell a new story. Fierce Filipino resistance and a nation refusing to be intimidated. The Philippines is no longer a passive observer. It's pushing back, asserting sovereignty with resolve. The international community is taking notice. China's path to dominance is no longer clear. The balance of power has shifted, driven by renewed alliances, military upgrades, and the unbreakable will of the Filipino people. This is a new era in Southeast Asia, one where numbers alone don't guarantee victory. The Philippines is showing the world that courage, strategy, and unity can defy even the largest adversary. The region holds its breath, knowing the outcome is anything but certain. The world is watching a small nation stand tall on the global stage. The old assumptions are gone. The Philippines is rewriting the rules. This is not just a regional dispute, it's a test of will, alliances, and the future of the Indo-Pacific. The stakes have never been higher. The Philippines is determined to defend its sovereignty, no matter the odds. China's military might is formidable, but the Filipino spirit is proving to be a force of its own. The South China Sea is now the world's most dangerous flashpoint. Every move, every word could tip the balance. The world waits, anxious and uncertain. The next chapter is about to be written. For decades, China's rise defined Asia. Its economic boom fueled a massive military buildup, modern warships, advanced jets, and a formidable missile arsenal. The People's Liberation Army became the region's undisputed giant, casting a long shadow over its neighbors. In any conflict scenario, China's victory seemed inevitable. On paper, the Philippines looked hopelessly outmatched. A modest military, outdated equipment, and a focus on internal threats. Simulations always ended the same way, China's overwhelming force crushing any resistance. The world quietly accepted that China would dominate the South China Sea. The Philippines was advised to accommodate, not resist. This narrative served China well, creating an atmosphere of intimidation and inevitability. The seizure of Mischief Reef and the Scarborough Shoal standoff were stark reminders of the power imbalance. The Philippines seemed to have few options, facing a giant destined to get its way. But this story is changing. The old sense of inevitability is fading. The Philippines is no longer resigned to its fate. The region is waking up to a new reality. The balance of power is shifting. The days of unquestioned Chinese dominance are over. The last decade has upended old assumptions in the South China Sea. The Philippines, once seen as the underdog, is now changing the game. This transformation is the result of bold decisions, new alliances, and a surge of national pride. Filipino leaders recognized that diplomacy alone wouldn't protect their sovereignty. They invested in defense, sought new partnerships, and redefined their national security strategy. The Philippines is no longer a passive victim, it's an active shaper of its destiny. Revitalized alliances, especially with the United States, have strengthened its position. Military modernization has given the armed forces new teeth. International partners are rallying behind the Philippines. Most importantly, a wave of nationalism has united the people. These factors have created a powerful counterweight to Chinese pressure. The Philippines is now challenging China's tactics, publicizing aggression, and participating in major military exercises. Manila is no longer just reacting, it's setting the agenda. Beijing is caught off guard, the path to dominance is blocked. Even a smaller nation can stand up to a giant with the right strategy and partners. The world is witnessing a dramatic shift in Southeast Asia's power dynamics. The Philippines is proving that resolve and unity can change the course of history. The tides have turned. At the heart of this shift is the revitalized U.S.-Philippines alliance. The Mutual Defense Treaty is no longer symbolic, it's a living commitment. Washington's support is ironclad, backed by the full might of the U.S. military. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, American forces now have access to key Philippine bases. This means rapid deployment in a crisis. U.S. support is always close at hand. The message to Beijing is clear: attacking the Philippines risks war with the world's strongest military. Joint exercises like Balikatan have grown in scale, showcasing combined power and resolve. These drills rehearse real-world scenarios, from amphibious landings to maritime defense. The alliance fundamentally changes China's risk calculation. Any aggression could trigger a global conflict. The American shield gives the Philippines confidence to stand firm. it ensures Manila won't face China alone. This partnership is the cornerstone of the Philippines' new defense posture. The stakes are higher, but so is the deterrence. The US-Philippines alliance is now a game-changer in the region. China must think twice before making its next move. The Philippines isn't just relying on allies, it's building its own strength. A sweeping military modernization program is transforming the armed forces. The Philippine Navy now fields modern frigates, patrol vessels, and fast attack craft. The Air Force has acquired supersonic jets, restoring its ability to defend the skies. Training and doctrine have been overhauled, with lessons learned from global partners. Joint operations are now the norm, integrating Army, Navy, and Air Force for seamless defense. The strategy isn't to match China ship for ship, but to create a credible deterrent. Anti-ship missiles, fast boats, and air power make Philippine waters a dangerous place for any invader. The goal: make any attack costly and uncertain for China. The Philippines is no longer a bystander, it's an active defender of its territory. Modernization has given the country a real edge. The message is clear: the Philippines is ready to fight for its sovereignty. Any invasion will be met with fierce resistance. The new Filipino military is a force to be reckoned with. The days of helplessness are over. The Philippines' greatest asset may be its geography. Over 7,600 islands form a natural fortress, an invader's nightmare. Conquering the Philippines isn't a single battle, it's thousands of potential battlefields. Dense jungles, mountains, and narrow straits favor defenders and guerrilla tactics. Each island can become a stronghold, each channel a deadly trap. Land-based missiles, sea mines, and fast attack craft can turn the archipelago into a no-go zone. Geography breaks up enemy fleets, exposing them to attack from all sides. The island fortress concept is central to Philippine defense. The goal isn't to defeat China in open battle, but to make invasion unbearably costly. Fortified islands and defended straits multiply the defender's power. For China, any invasion would be a slow, brutal slog. Geography turns the Philippines into a force multiplier. The archipelago itself becomes a weapon. Any aggressor would pay a heavy price. The Philippines' most powerful weapon isn't hardware, it's the spirit of its people. Chinese pressure has forged a new unity and resolve. Nationalism is surging, uniting Filipinos across political divides. Social media buzzes with defiance. Fishermen refuse to abandon their waters. Public support for military modernization is overwhelming. Grassroots movements demand a strong stance from the government. Leaders know the people are behind them, emboldening their resolve. History shows Filipinos fiercely resist invaders. Any occupation would face relentless insurgency from every corner of society. A quick victory for China is impossible. The will to resist makes the Philippines unconquerable. Even if battles are lost, the war for freedom would never end. The unity of the Filipino people is China's greatest obstacle. The Philippines is not alone. A coalition of international partners has rallied to its side. The US leads, but Japan, Australia, and ASEAN states are stepping up. Japan provides patrol vessels and surveillance aircraft. Australia deepens military ties. Vietnam and other Southeast Asian nations coordinate strategies, complicating China's plans. This network offers military aid, intelligence, and diplomatic support. China now faces a united front, not a single adversary. Aggression against the Philippines risks a coordinated international response. The cost of coercion is rising for Beijing. The world is watching and ready to act. The Philippines' allies are its shield. Modern conflict isn't just about firepower, it's about information and legitimacy. The Philippines excels at using international law and transparency to expose Chinese aggression. The 2016 Hague ruling invalidated China's claims, giving Manila a legal and moral high ground. Publicizing Chinese actions puts Beijing on the defensive and rallies global support. Assertive transparency turns gray zone tactics into global scandals. China faces internal challenges, a slowing economy, demographic crisis, and the need for stability. A costly war could threaten the Communist Party's grip on power. The risks of conflict are higher than ever for Beijing. The Philippines, with its allies and global support, is no easy target. The rules of war have changed. Victory is no longer guaranteed for the biggest army. The world is watching, and the outcome is far from certain.